Whenever I get into these matches in half sword, I always try to go for the legs. As soon as you take out the legs, it makes it so easy. They can't move around, their swings are slow, and it's easier to kind of finish off the opponent when they can't do any of that. Typically, when you land a pretty good leg shot, it's kind of the end of the match. They're done. Right here, I alternate going up top, hitting the leg, going back up top. It's quite useful against two-handed weapons. It's pretty hard to get some strikes in, and typically the leg strikes get you close enough without taking damage. And it still makes me feel pretty bad. I can fix it, I swear. As fun as it is to just kind of swing wild, hoping for those big shots, most of the time it doesn't really end too well. You do get lucky every once in a while. Look at that. A tip I have is always try to keep the sword in front of you and try to move the sword in the direction that they're attacking. See, I move it to the right and I'm able to kind of parry and get the shot. Also, getting the sword in front of you allows you to strike very quickly and accurately. Here I'm able to kind of knock off 2 or 3 strikes. And this is what I mean. Start at the right, sword comes, move it to the left. Very simple. Another tip I have is in the settings. Try to change your mouse sensitivity down and center crosshair. That allows you to kind of not flail around, not spin too much, and you're still able to get those power strikes in. The shift key is very useful. You see it kind of lowers my weight and I get into a stance. This makes it faster for striking as well as movement. This is without the shift key. I'm still able to move around, left, right, and then when I activate it, it's much quicker and you can dodge a lot of strikes this way. I recommend moving with shift away from every strike. So there I went back, left, right. When you focus on the movement, it really forces them to attack you, which leaves an opening. The setting that I have that really helps is the FOV settings. All the way to the left is as close as it gets without first person, and then to the right is as far as it gets. And honestly, just try to find a happy place in the middle somewhere. Right here seems to be perfect. Stabbing in this game is interesting. If you double left click, you're just kind of flailing the sword around. The best way to do it is holding Alt and moving the mouse just back and forth. Very useful when it comes to spears or anything that has a point. Adjusting the lock-on strength helps to avoid these misses that happen. And with stabbing, it's really just a distance measuring tool for me, but it also provides some cool finishing moves. And when you have the reach advantage, it's definitely helpful to kind of just poke and prod their defense. And it's pretty deadly. Typically one spear can take out the enemy, no matter where you hit them. And bonus, it's also very useful for the low armor tiers. I'm able to defend this shot thanks to using right click as my stance. It's also useful up close. You can hold right click and just try to go for vitals or just give them a big ol' hug. When I see anyone come with overhand strikes, this is my go-to. Again, right here, I see the strike, right click, boom. And I don't know what that was. Right click up close, especially with blunt weapons, is very useful. And in full armor, the weak spot's the underarms and then the neck area. This is very easy to kind of get the strikes there. Here's the difference, one arm and then the right click swings. When you do the right click swings, they're much faster and much stronger. Oh, I guess this is why they nerfed the maces. The grabbing mechanics are quite useful, especially with the armor tiers. By just pressing either Q or E, you can grab with your right or left hand, and then you can alternate and just start whacking them with whatever arm has the weapon. I always like to go to the leg here, and then I can let go, and typically they'll fall over from the damage, and it's time to end the fight. Without any armor, this is useful if you get a hold of their weapon hand. You can kind of pull the weapon away and get some strikes in. Another big use against polearm weapons, you can always get in there and control the hand and they can't hit you, no matter what they do. I would not recommend this with someone that has a slash weapon. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for some more half sword videos. They're releasing a lot of great updates and I can't wait to kind of go into some of them.